Hi guys, welcome to my channel. New York City teachers spent today and they'll be doing their tomorrow and Thursday preparing for the remote learning that will be rolling out next week Monday. I know a lot of people are already complaining about trying to teach their kids from home, but don't worry, the materials will all be there by Monday. Today, I set up all my lesson plan for my 7th grade students. I have them on Google Drive and they're ready to go for Monday. Tomorrow I'm going to work on my 6th grade students, and on Thursday I'm going to work on my enrichment classes. You guys will have materials for your kids. Before we get any further, please click the subscribe button below, like and then share this video. If you have any questions about what's going on with remote learning and what teachers are doing in this time off, please put the comments and leave them in the comments below. Now, any questions?
Yeah, so the teaching that you're going to be doing online, are the parents going to be able to understand? And what if the kids don't understand?
So right now, we made these lessons very simple but still rigorous. Your kids are not just doing click A, click B, click C. For my lessons, the way I started off is we're doing Shay's Rebellion, and I gave a good video on Shay's Rebellion, and then the kids have to answer a question on it just to get them acclimated to what we're learning. Then they're going to read an article, a non-fiction text about Shay's Rebellion, and then answer some questions. And then finally they're going to do a short response, 100 to 120 words. This is something similar to what they would have done in class. It is simple enough for them to do it, but rigorous enough for them to actually be benefited from this at-home remote learning situation. The next day, we're going to look further into Shay's Rebellion. I think I forgot to tell you guys that I'm a social studies teacher, and the nonfiction text from the first day was more ELA based. I chose an ELA base for the first day because I feel like it is easier for kids to read nonfiction text than to read historical documents. So they're going to read the nonfiction text the first lesson so they understand the subject and the content. And then in the next video, in the next day, they're going to actually read primary source documents taken from the time of Shay's Rebellion. So as I said, it's very rigorous, but it's something that they can do. And because we're using Google Classroom, I have set everything up in order of how they should be, what days they should be learning certain things, but also what they should be doing at the beginning of their learning period and what they should be doing at the end. So it's all scaffolded. If you don't know what scaffolded is, it means like it's step by step by step. They're not going to be asked to write a essay on Shay's Rebellion without knowing what Shay's Rebellion is. Now, the next question. What happens when a child is stuck, first on the lesson, or even stuck with technical support? Every school, let me stop talking about every school. My school have a tech team. So if there's any issues, parents could call the school, parents can email the school, parents could email particular teachers, and if they don't know the email address by now, they can go on the school website, get all that information, and they can email us any questions they might have. Now, if parents are confused about the lesson, again, they can reach out to the teachers and we will help. Now, I'm not sure how many of you know what teaching entails. It's not just, oh, I give you a lesson, I teach my lesson and it's done. Teachers also have to differentiate. We give different work, or we differentiate the materials for different students and their learning needs. So something that we'll do is, I am the content teacher. I did all the lessons for the week. It's up on the Google Classroom, but I also have a co-teacher. She's also a teacher, not an assistant, but she has a special education license. She goes back in and she checks all the lessons to make sure they're accessible to every learner. I have kids who are autistic, or on the spectrum, the autism spectrum. I have students who have learning impairments and different reasons why they will get special education support. My co-teacher goes in and makes sure all the lessons are accessible to them. So like today, my co-teacher did tutorials of how to navigate Google Classroom, how to navigate Newsela or Newsela, how to navigate for their math class and their science class. So all the resources will be there, and it's accessible to each and every student. And we are tailoring our lessons to each and every student. So even though we're remote learning, don't think us teachers are just there and clicking assignment, oh, I'll just give them this. We're actually lesson planning and doing what we need to do as teachers to ensure that your child is learning.
Are you gonna be like in the classroom right away? Like you said, it's in Google Drive, and I know you can make changes on that like instantly and stuff like that. So if the kid has a question, are you gonna be able to answer it right away? Or is it an email thing and then I have to wait for you to check your email and then you get back to me?
Honestly, it's gonna be probably email and get back to me, because the way I set up my lessons is I am not sure when my students are going to go on. Yes, normally they will have classes 4 times a week, and I could set the dates as if we were having classes. But I am not sure how my kids have access to the internet and what they have access to at particular times. Maybe one of my students is going to go over to his uncle's house on the weekend and get his work done. So it's open. So I gave a lesson and I made sure all the due dates are a week further ahead, so they can go on anytime they need to do and complete this assignment. So I'm not sitting around by the computer waiting to respond to questions, but I will be on every day. I am still working. I'm still getting a paycheck. I am still working Monday to Friday.
So for the kids who don't have a computer, is your school going to be giving out computers like what Mayor de Blasio said?
Actually, yes. It's so fortunate that our school, we already had computers coming in. I think we ordered almost every class had computers at one point, and we realized that our school was very literacy based, very technology based, that we ordered more laptops so that every student would have had a laptop anyways. So yes, my school is providing laptops to students who do not have access to the internet. We also just had parent-teacher conference on Friday, and it so happened that we were preparing for the possibility of remote learning. So we already have a survey running. Mostly all the parents were called, and we did a survey to see who needed laptops. And later on this week, students will be invited into the school to collect the Chromebooks.
That's good. And so I know you said that some students have the option to go online and do like certain subjects all in one. Is there a time frame for work to be completed and submitted on this remote learning?
There is a time frame, because we are expected to grade it and give a grade and get it ready in our grade books. So it's not indefinitely, it's not open forever. As I said, remote learning actually starts on Monday. But I know some parents are kind of eager, so I made my lessons open Friday, and it's going to stay until next Friday. So I'm giving at least a week to finish everything that I give. And I think that's what my other colleagues are doing. We don't expect a student to wake up 8 o'clock, finish the assignment by the end of the day.
Oh, do you foresee any students not getting online, doing anything at all?
I'll be lying if I say I think 100% of my students are going to do this. At first, I really thought maybe about 30%. But I went to work today. We had parents call in about how they're going to get their kids' materials. We had students, we're over there editing Google Classroom, and students are already writing us. Some of them already did 2 of the assignments. And it's like, wow, I didn't expect this kind of enthusiasm to learn. And I know that's wrong, because I did learn in school. Kids, everybody wants to learn. Even though they give a lot of trouble in school, everybody has a desire to learn. And this time off, they're going to still want to learn. Also, we need to remember that it's not just the kids at home, the parents are home too. So I know parents are going to be pushing kids to do the work. But of course, there's going to be a few who maybe might not have that support at home.
So this is just a continuation of classroom work. It's just that we're doing it online, right?
Yes.
So the kids nobody's going to be held back or anything like that as long as they complete their work. They're looking forward to going to the 8th grade and the 7th grade, right?
Well, I don't want to say if a student doesn't do the work, there needs to be some kind of consequence. However, this is uncharted area, so I feel as though no one will actually really be left back, but it is a mark against them. I mean, we're not going to penalize people who don't have the resources, but everyone should be getting an education, and if you use this time to not use the resources that are there or not try and do the remote learning, your child is going to fall behind. Not necessarily left behind, but he's going to fall behind. We all heard of the summer slide. If we're going to start not learning anything in March, we have March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 7 months of not learning. Your child is going to be 7 months behind everybody else who have been learning. And it's a big difference. If you do 7 months without working, that's interrupted classroom and you're regressing. So if I have a 7th grader who was mid-7th grade level and they go 7 months without learning anything, they're going to regress back to 6th grade, early 6th grade. And we do not want that.
Alright.
As I said, if you enjoy what you saw, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share it with somebody